Turner is a movement and pain specialist, and it's a great segue following the conversation we had with Chris Prickett talking about the phones, the voicemails, and holding the phone, and the Bluetooth, and texting. Do you get people coming in with thumb problems? Yes,
thumb problems, Wii problems, and that's why I'm here just today for carpal tunnel syndrome, which a lot of it's increasing due to the computer time.
Computers, everybody using them these days, and what cause? I mean, is it the length of time that we're at the computer?
Actually, what's happening is your back isn't working very well, and you're not listening to that. I'm sure before they have the carpal tunnel, they've been saying, you know, I'm just
my back hurts
too long, and so forth, and so you're not listening to that, and your brain starts saying, well, you know, I'm going to make your arm hurt too. So it just sort of builds on top of one another.
It used to be said, and probably is still true, we spend a third of our life in bed sleeping. Okay, well, in bed, and we spend almost that time behind a computer.
Absolutely, and a lot.
So that's 2/3 of our life is spent either sleeping or in front of a computer. So now the sleeping part is healthy and that's beneficial, obviously, but that other third cannot be as beneficial at times.
No, and then a lot of people have their computers in the bedroom and or TVs in the bedroom too, so the sleeping time is interrupted. Time.
What type of injuries are attached to computers and to us spending a lot of time?
Well, first of all, a lot of it's a bad chair. So people too, when you're at work all day complaining about the chair, it really wouldn't take much to even to bring in your own chair. I know companies are tight and so forth, but is it really worse your posture to, you know, maybe invest in something and bring
buy your own chair that fits you better.
Right, and the same with the keyboard. A lot of, again, we look for human resources, or some companies don't even have that anymore, to provide our ergodynamics. And you know, sometimes you just have to take care of yourself first of all, but a lot of it is just we're not moving.
Did we see as much of this when it was a regular typewriter keyboard? Because now the computer keyboard and typewriter is similar, there's a slant, but now laptops are flat. Laptops are harder to type on, even if you're a great typist, because of the elevation of it. It sits flat.
It sits flat. Not only that, but now you have the computer screen in front of you, and some people too have made it about this big, and so they're sort of
mesmerized.
And so what I'm here is just to show you is by just doing some little movements, even just during the day, and working on yourself.
Does it bother our neck and shoulders too, and being in that posture for so long?
Well, you can just look from side to side, but even just, I brought my mouse here, even if my hand's here, my range of motion is already limited by just having my hand on my mouse. I'm not looking side to side as I would even just from here. It just, it stiffens our neck that way. So just by lightly bringing your hand up and so forth, and bringing your head to your shoulders. Now most people would do this and it's all done to your head and the neck, but if they start maybe just bending their spine a little bit and bringing the whole back, it's not just our neck.
And I find myself coming up like this and straightening my back when I'm sitting for so long.
Right.
Is that helpful, or?
Well, it's movement is helpful, but it's when you're doing that, you're tending to hold your breath a bit too, just because you're in pain and that you can feel the strain. You know, is there a way of just softening that up a little bit?
The gentle stretching. It looks like you're doing gentle stretching.
Right.
And getting yourself in a position that is unlike being like this all the time. You're altering the position of your body.
Right, and also just taking this and going left to right and looking. Is there a way of, again, increasing the range of motion with the spine? And then even just that little things for me to go back to my mouse, I can realize that, you know, my head is turning a lot more than it just did a couple of seconds ago.
How often should we do that? I mean, does pain dictate that, or should we be doing it every 15, 20 minutes? Or?
I think it's great if you can do it as often as you can, because if you're already going into pain, you're moving in a way or not moving in a way where your body's just saying, you know, it just hurts to sit like this. So it's just that paying attention, you know, can we just kind of shift? And you can even do this when you're driving. Driving, we're up against and like this.
And the stress.
But is there a way of driving that you don't have, again, to tighten the shoulders? If I'm like this, I can't even look at the cars or turn around to see, versus, you know, a much softer arm and to turn around.
Are you seeing an increasing number of people people coming to you with the carpal tunnel syndrome.
I am, and what's worse is they've had the surgery, and now they still have the problems. Well, what happens if you don't change your habits that got you into this place to begin with? Yes, you get the surgery. It might be temporary relief, but to some it continues because they haven't dealt with their back and
it's a Band-Aid.
Yeah, it's a Band-Aid.
They haven't fixed the situation.
But should we practice good posture? I mean, will that help too? Because a lot of times I think people catch themselves, you start to slouch, and that certainly can't be good for...
Well, when you start to slouch, not only that, but when your shoulders go past that 90-degree angle, that's the quickest form of aging, because your muscles now hang off your bones versus being, and you can just do this even at home, just to sit back and you'll feel the muscles taut, but the second you just go a little bit further, the muscles actually hang off the bone, and that's what causes the osteoporosis or the brittleness of the bones.
Really?
Yeah, and again, too, if you're sitting at the computer more so like this, or you see people at the cashiers and so forth that are just look so tired, you know, is there a way of bringing the back, but not so much that, again, that you're stiff.
No, that's improper posture.
Right.
You can go too far the other way.
Right.
But what do you teach people? What do you tell people? People who come to you.
People that come to me actually go on my table. I don't allow cell phones there either. And
good for you.
You are dressed unlike a massage and so forth, and I start to see where you are stiff, where there are pains, where, and is there a way of showing your system on how to move and move without pain? It's very gentle, it's very soft, and then I can start bringing you into where you have issues. Some people just want to golf better, some people want to get out of carpal tunnel and so forth, and you know, it all depends of what I can do to make your life better.
How does a movement and pain specialist differ from a massage therapist?
Massage therapist is only dealing with your muscles. They're just there to make you feel good today.
Okay.
I'm here to teach your brain how to just move better to make you feel good, hopefully for quite some time.
What about walking? Because many people have a different gait when they walk. Does that affect, can you help those folks that are...
Oh, absolutely. We do nothing to improve our feet whatsoever other than learning how to walk or run. I'm excellent with feet. There's 26 bones in each feet, and I actually go in there and show people lose ankle rotations and so forth. And what you notice with the gait change, that's actually because your balance is getting worse. If I have a nice long stride, it's actually because I'm on one foot at a time and I have good balance. And when you start seeing that slower gait, it's actually the brain saying your balance is going, and that also starts raising your blood pressure because you're working on your circulatory system much harder than it needs to, because again, you're worried about balance, even if that's not conscious, and that just gets worse as we age and so forth.